Hey guys, welcome back to my channel one more time. My name is Preet and you're watching Info at a Glance, your very own immigration ease, where you watch videos and you become boss of your own immigration. And today, as promised, I'm back with another video. This is another PNP which we'll be talking today. This happens to be one of the most promising PNP for students and for a lot of immigrants who are willing to migrate to Canada. And this is Manitoba, the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, MPNP. I do bring a lot of amazing content for you in terms of immigration. So if you have not considered subscribing to my channel yet, then please consider doing so. Do share the video with your peers who are interested in immigration and who are interested in doing everything on their own without shedding any money for immigration consultants or agents, because definitely it's your lifetime saving and you would not like to simply waste your money and get no result out of it. Before I begin into the technicalities of the PNP series and this particular PNP, I want to give you a brief insight of Manitoba. Manitoba is primarily known for its one city only, which is Winnipeg. I am sure if you have heard about other major capitals and cities of Canada, Winnipeg is one of those. And in this particular province, this is not a very big province but a small but very promising for students who are willing to migrate. I mean, if you explore YouTube, you will find a lot of videos for students who are migrating to Winnipeg just because of this MPNP program. Now, when I talk about opportunities in Manitoba, this province does not have a lot of wide opportunities for skilled people. I mean, I'm talking about the hardcore IT techs, or I'm talking about the opportunities which are in Toronto or which are in Vancouver. But yes, as a standard of living, if I talk about the affordability of this province, that's amazing. There is one more thing which is very interesting for this particular province, which is the climate. I mean, definitely the entire country is cold, but this is a little to a harsh extent. I mean, the bone taking winters and quite suffocating summers too, which is quite easy to survive, but yes, winters are quite concerning. So that's one important aspect. Study wise, if students who consider Winnipeg as a destination to study, they are quite happy. Why? Because the cost of living and the price comparison, if you compare the courses and the studies from any other province, Manitoba is considered a little cheaper. I mean, there is a good variance of like good $3,000 to $5,000 of in the fee structure, but when it comes to cost of living, that has a huge difference in terms of housing or in terms of standard of living. Anything you compare with any other province, you will find Manitoba a lot cheaper than any other province in the country. Now, opportunity wise, if I talk about this particular province, there are certain aspects which are quite booming. For example, healthcare, for example, the standard skilled labor. I mean, everyone needs a place to survive. I mean, in a province or in a city wherein a population is like 0.8 million people, opportunities are likely to be there which are like pretty basic. For example, healthcare, for example, administration, food. So if I look at the list of NOCs in demand for this particular province, you will find a huge variety, not for a skilled side, but yes, a skilled labor side. I'll give you all the links for a lot of information for this particular province in the description box below. That's going to be very promising for you, so do check that out, because that has a lot of amazing information, and you can also gain a lot of information in terms of finding your eligibility. Now, moving to the PNP side of this particular province, I want to give you a brief insight of how this PNP thing works, though there are some do's and don'ts which you need to take care of, and the entire process. So let's get into the PNP side of it. So the MPNP primarily has three major segments. One is the skilled worker, which is again divided in two parts. One is for inlanders, which is for like people who are already in the province, and one is for outlanders. The second one is again a very promising stream, which is for the international graduates. This is primarily for those who studied in Manitoba only. And the third one is the business investors category. Each province of Canada has this particular category, and that's quite promising for those who want to establish a business or maybe attain a partnership in a business. So the eligibility for this particular aspect is quite appealing. Like for an example, for the business investors category, you tend to show an investment of like close to $150 to $250 or $300,000, but you need to have a net worth of close to $500,000. That's one part. Plus age which is again quite promising in this category. I mean, from the age of 25 till the age of 49, you're eligible with the English proficiency of CLB 5. So this is for the business investor side. Now for the inlanders, I mean the skilled worker category, which I was talking about, the very first one, people who are already in the province with minimum of just 6 months of experience are eligible to apply. Now that's an interesting part. Like if an international student, or if a person who is already in the province who has only 6 months of experience and his NOC is in the NOC demand list, he is eligible to apply for this particular province. People who are outside the province, they are required to meet the NOC requirements, which is basis the labor market assessment. Also in the NPNP points table, they need to have 60 out of 100 points. Now how will you calculate those 60 out of 100 points? I'll give you a brief insight for that. Now as you can see on your computer screen, I mean the very first category is the language proficiency, wherein CLB 8 gives you the maximum points, which are like 20 points. I mean this is quite easy for anyone to attain. I mean, like even if you have CLB 7, you still get 18 points. So that's interesting. Age. Now in express entry, age is playing a very big role. I mean, in terms of losing points, the moment you hit 30, you start losing points in the age category. But here in the NPNP program, you don't lose points till the time you're not 45, and you get the maximum points in age till the time you are less than 45. So from 21 to 45, as you can see on your screen, you score 10 points. The next important part is your work experience. As you can see on your screen, you get maximum points, which are 15, which is for your work experience. Now definitely it has some more additions to it. The next one is your qualification. Now for any province to apply for, ECA and IELTS are two first important steps. So that's again a qualifier. So basis your ECA, as you can see on your screen, if you have a master's or a doctorate degree, you get the maximum 25 points. And for two post-secondary programs of at least 2 years each, you get 23 points, which is again quite promising. So you can keep calculating your points basis the points table. I will also link this particular points table in the description box. Now the fifth point is very promising over here. This is going to be a game changer. This is going to be very important for you to understand that adaptability plays a very important role when it comes to apply for this particular province. Now the points table which you see below on your screen, you can only fetch points for one of these category, even if you match multiple categories in this particular aspect. But yes, you can only attain points for one aspect, but this is a mandatory aspect. When I say mandatory, which means even if you are able to attain points in all the other categories, and if you have more than 60 points, and if you don't have points in this particular aspect, you will not be eligible to apply for NPNP. So that's quite a game changer. But yes, it's not that difficult, because even a distant friend or a relative living in Manitoba can help you attain adaptability for this particular province. The important part which you need to understand over here, which you can see that who cannot apply for NPNP, it's simply for those who are already applying for any other provincial nomination program. Now if somebody already has an application open for another PNP, that person cannot apply for the Manitoba province. Also, if you have a temporary work permit and you're residing in any other province other than Manitoba, then also you cannot apply. However, the qualifiers are in front of your computer screen. Okay, so this was about the qualifiers. Now I mean, this is quite appealing. I mean, you can definitely calculate your points and get to understand where exactly you stand. Adaptability, I understand, may be a challenge for a few, but yes, if you are already within the country, that should not be a challenge, because people do attain points, people do move to this particular province, and they understand they can arrange the adaptability and move on with the profile. The second category I was talking about for the international graduates, which is the international education stream, IES, that is like subsided into three categories. I mean, like, one is the career employment pathway, which is for if you have graduated from Manitoba in last 3 years, only from Manitoba. Second one is the graduate internship pathway, which is for people who completed their master's or doctorate degree from Manitoba. And the third one is quite tricky, which is the international student entrepreneur pilot program, wherein only 20 students per year are pegged in this particular aspect, and they are in the entrepreneur category. Now to apply for this particular province, the process is pretty simple. I mean, I have linked everything in the description box where you need to apply. So very simple. You need to submit your expression of interest for this particular province, and once you are already a part of this particular pool, you get invited basis your knock definitely and the eligible category which you have submitted your application for, and the very first thing which you get is your LAA, which is the letter of advice to apply. Now after you have your LAA, which is the letter of advice to apply, you get 60 days to complete your documentation. Now we need to understand very important thing over here, that whenever you are a part of this particular LAA application process, you need to submit all your documentation and all your IDs which are government approved. Now if you're applying from India, then definitely your passport becomes mandatory, your birth certificate becomes mandatory. So that's one part. After you have submitted your documents, your profile will move to assessment, and you will have to wait for good 45 to 90 days approximately to get a final decision from this particular PNP. And after your application gets approved, then you tend to make a payment for this particular province, which is non-refundable 500 Canadian dollars. So after the entire process is done, the government of Manitoba will direct you on the application process after you have completed and successfully submitted your application, and after you have successfully passed all the eligibility criteria. Then the Manitoba government will advise you on your immigration process, whether it is via express entry or direct via EOI system. Now after that, you need to take care of very important aspect, which is the settlement funds for this particular province, which is 10,000 Canadian dollars, which you need to show as an evidence or as a proof of funds. Plus you keep adding $200 for your family members. For example, if you have a spouse, then $2,000. If you have children, so each children is multiplied by $2,000. So that's how you calculate the proof of funds. And very interesting part, the Manitoba website, which is for immigration, has already given the complete information of this entire process, and that's how I was able to gain all the information for you, which I have downloaded in this video, and which I have brought to you in terms of this particular province. So it's not complicated at all, pretty simple. They even have bifurcated the documentation process, and what sort of documentation you need, what is the format for that particular documentation, and what is mandatory and what is not mandatory. Reference letters do play a very important role if you have shown work experience and if you have shown adaptability. So do take care of that when you are applying. Also, the most important part, which is the scam alert, wherein when you apply or when you are willing to move to this particular province, and if you have an agent or a consultant giving you a guidance with an assurance that we can take care of everything, and you know yourself that the adaptability plays a very vital role for you, and that is something which is difficult for you to attain, do not fall for that scam, because that's one aspect you cannot do anything about. And please do not try to hide any kind of an application history when you are applying for this particular province, because you may be asked to show, or you definitely have to show your history of applications, even if you got approved or rejected for any other provincial nomination program, or if you have an immigration history in terms of refusal for Canada. So that's very important for you to take care of, so do consider that. So this was the brief information about the Manitoba province. I mean, how exactly the PNP works and what are the eligible categories and where exactly you stand. You can definitely calculate. Once again, I have linked a lot of information in the description box. You have a lot of authentic links available, wherein you can browse and find out your eligibility, and you can figure out where exactly you stand, and also a long list of knock codes which are eligible for this particular province category wise, which is not given by any other third party, but yes, from the Manitoba province itself. So do check that out, because that's going to help you a lot in order to find out your eligibility, because this province is very promising for a lot of immigrants who are within Canada. They prefer moving to Manitoba, gain the experience, become eligible for this particular province and get their PR. So do check the information out in the description box, and also do consider subscribing to my channel, hit the bell icon, and do like and share the video with your peers who are interested in Canada immigration. And as promised, I'll be back once again with another province, and I'll give you a brief insight of the PNP program one more time. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.